Powell, first off, congratulations, a brand new 4-year deal here at Trinity. How do you feel having signed that long-term deal and securing your future?
Oh yeah, I'm really pleased. Obviously, we started out last year with Matt in charge of the club, and we didn't really know where it was going to go. We thought things would be really positive, but it's just turned out it's such a great place to work. Just allow us to do our jobs as a coaching department, and it's just a pleasure coming to the ground and working with the boys every day, and an unbelievable staff. So I'm really pleased. Obviously, you get to my age and you don't know how long you're going to coach for. But for me, I just thought it was a no-brainer. Such an outstanding club, and really enjoying my time.
You said in your quote on the website for the announcement story that it was the easiest decision of your career. Just what do you put that down to?
Well, I think it's a combination of things, really. Obviously, I think having owners that just allow you to do your job and don't get involved too much. I've had a little bit of that in the past, which isn't great. That's the starting point for it. And then when you've got the staff like we have, and I rarely spend time in my own office. I spend time with a coaching group because I just feel like we feed off each other. We've got a great camaraderie. And the working environment is great, and then that feeds into the players. And recruitment-wise, I think we've got on board a really outstanding group of young men who represent the club with a great deal of pride and integrity. And when you've got that, the whole thing starts moving in the right direction. I think the fans have really bought into what we're about and how we play and what the whole club's trying to do. So yeah, I think it's just that. It's the whole thing. It all comes together and creates something that's quite powerful. And when you've got that, then you want to stick around and see it to its end point, which is we want to be winning things. I don't the old attitudes at times have not been about that, and I think for us it's about coming out at the end of the season and achieving special things. And I feel like we can do that. In the future, I think the next 4 years is a great timeline really to be at a club and put in place all your principles and philosophies and values, and then drive them through. And I feel like we're all doing that across the playing group, the coaching staff. Like I say, Matt and his family have done unbelievable things around the club, the ground, and everybody's feeding off that. So yeah, it's a great place to be.
You've signed the deal alongside Michael Shenton signing a new 4-year deal, and also Steve Mills signing a 6-year deal. How great is it to have two young, hungry guys that are extremely talented in their own roles alongside you?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, obviously the first person that I appointed when I got the job was Steve Mills. Really, just he's an analyst at the time, but I just always thought he had more in his locker. I just think really intelligent young man. Gets the game. He's grown in the role. I think he's really made a mark for himself. The way he's done things, how professional he is. So delighted with that one. And then Shenny, obviously I think we paid a fee to get him out of Hull, but it's been well worth it to be honest. I always felt like when I coached him, he was an outstanding young man and player. And I was pretty confident that when he decided he wasn't going to play anymore, he'd step up to be an outstanding coach. And I believe he's an head coach of the future, absolutely. And I think what we are putting in place is people who are at the club who've got the club's best interests at heart, who've been involved. People like Luke Gale who played here on the coaching team as well. And I feel like we've got a real strong bond and belief that what we're doing is going to take us to great things. So I'm delighted to get those guys on board. From Millsy, it's even longer term. So he's a bit younger than me. So I do think it's awesome, to be honest. The team that we've built. Obviously, we've got a few other guys that we'll be looking at retaining over the coming months on the coaching team. And I just feel like we're in a great place and just enjoying what it's all about. Big challenges this year. But the future, I think, if we get things right, then we'll be in a great place.
You mentioned it earlier, and we've picked out obviously Steve Mills and Shenny because they've got the deals at this time. But people don't quite see the togetherness that you guys have as a coaching staff and the amount of time that you spend together. It's a really good group of coaches, isn't it, in there?
Yeah, I think just as people, first and foremost, I think if you look at that and what kind of personalities have you got, how honest and and positive are they around the players? Because ultimately, we talk about players being honest and positive, and if we're not, then it doesn't translate. So, I feel like we've just got such a good team. We spend a lot of time together. We can be honest with each other. But we have a great banter as well, which, like I say, I just think it transfers from. If your coaching team's happy, then I think you've got a great opportunity to keep your playing group happy, and I feel like we do that in a great way. We have a great deal of sense of humour in and around the place, whether that's on the field or it's in meeting rooms. It's pretty relaxed and chilled, and but then it's focused when it needs to be, and all the coaching group are on board with that.
This playing group that you've got now, obviously you've committed to working with them for the next 4 years. Where can this group go?
Yeah, well, we're pretty young, so I feel like it's the bulk of the squad has got quite a few years really where they'll stay together and grow. Look, there's the potential to win competitions here. I think that's what it's all about. I think it's really important that we grow that belief, and I think it's coming. I absolutely do. I think we've still got a little bit of work to do, but young players growing and getting better. I think we've already seen signs of that, and our experienced players being right at the top of the game. And I feel like the environment feeds that, and they're obviously the players are a big part of that. But I feel like our players are getting better, and I think as a coach, that's what you coach really, and it's your team doing well. But within that, individual players just getting better and achieving their dreams and their potential.
The fans have really welcomed you in since joining the club last year. How amazing is it to think that you'll be walking out here at Bellevue for the next 4 years in front of them?
Yeah, I get a bit of stick for having coached at Cass in the past. Well, I feel like there's a connection there. I really enjoy seeing them. Stand up and sing "Stand Up If You Love the Trin." I think things like that. I think they're giving to the group there. We've been behind at times and they've been doing that. I feel like that's sort of something you don't always get, that fans give to players before the players give something back. I think that's when you've got a real connection. And I've seen that a lot this year. I think our away support's been phenomenal. And then at home, we're selling out stadium, and that is, you're going somewhere when that's happening, because they're enjoying what they're seeing, and their connectivity with the players, I think, is outstanding. It's something that I think is special when you see that. So, well, that's why I feel like the whole club is pointing in the right direction, and it is connected, and when you have that, then you've got a powerful force.
4 years' time, then, at the end of this deal, what would be successful in your eyes?
So winning the comp, I think, is something that we're talking about all the time. I spoke to Matt yesterday, and he was talking about what do we need to do to win the comp. That's the way we're talking. We're not talking about surviving. We're talking about thriving and being the best team across everything that we do. We want to make sure that our youth development is prospering as well. We also want to sign the best players, but also make sure that we're getting the most out of everybody within our group. But for me, winning competitions is what we're after, and I think we're in a good place. I think I'd like to see just the whole place just capture that sort of. That thought and that drive and that ambition to be the very best team in the competition, and I think we can do it. I think our belief is growing. We only in the championship last year, so we know we've got work to do. But I think once that belief grows within everybody in the organisation, then we're going to be even better, and we feel like we've signed some quality players for next year, and we're retaining our best players as well. But we're still in this year, and we want to get everything that we can out of this year. We've got some quality boys who won't be with us next year. We want to make sure that they achieve everything that they can with us this year. So I think that's really important as well.